man. So like there was a time where it was just like, even in school, for example, you get a supply teacher, like a teacher that's not your teacher for the day, and when it comes to reading a Nigerian name, they're making it seem as if it's the hardest thing to do, bro.
No, but it is though.
Come on, man.
What, reading what names?
Yeah.
Bro, most of you that live here can't even pronounce your names properly. So do that.
But you can pronounce the names. We just choose not to.
Brother. I've heard.
We can pronounce our names, bro. We just choose not to.
When I moved here, yeah, when I see Zimbabweans over here, yeah, when I used to sit here and I'd see people pronouncing their names, I was like, you're not gonna do that, are you? You know, you're sitting there, and people pronouncing their names. I was like, bro. I'm talking Nigerians as well. You've heard people pronounce their names, and you're like, that is not how you pronounce your name. So there's no way you're gonna pronounce your name like that and be mad at me for pronouncing it like that.
I think what Tazer's saying is that Nigerians pronounce it that way on purpose. The supply teachers couldn't pronounce it at all. Do you get what I'm saying? Because, for example,
give them a Polish name or Russian name. The man are reading that out.
True,
like,
man.
You see what I'm saying?
Locomotive, Lipienko, they nailing it, bro. Nailing it. Is it recording?
Yeah.
No, bless you.
Oh, yeah, we just cut it out.
All right, what's happening, people? Welcome to episode 330 of the Free Shots Tequila podcast with myself, Marvin Abbey. Who else we got in the studio?
Mr. Exposed.
And Tazer Black.
And we got a very, very special guest. Can we just know your name, brother, and where you're from?
My name is Crayon from Lagos, Nigeria.
Crayon. What's good, brother?
I'm alright.
How you enjoying London?
Yeah, I love it out here, man. Like, I love the vibe. I love the energy. I love the cold.
You love the cold?
Yeah.
The cold.
Yeah.
It's a very African thing, you know what I mean, to say, because whenever we all come here for the first time, we love it. Snow, you always see snow for the first time, and then after 2 weeks, you're like, no.
And for me, it's different because like I always wanted to come here. So
This is your first time?
Yeah, my first time in London.
Okay.
Why you still like the cold? Don't worry, give it time.
Welcome.
So how long are you here for when you go back?
A couple of days. I came in on Saturday. I did a show in Birmingham. I did a show in Manchester, and I'm back in London.
Do you notice accents? The difference in the accents is in like when you're in London, you hear people speak. Because Birmingham, they talk different. Manchester, they talk different. Have you noticed that yet? Or you noticed
No, to be honest, no. I haven't really paid attention to that.
Serious?
For real, I've not. For real.
Now I've said it. Like, pay attention. Like, people from Birmingham talk like different. Manchester, they talk different. Like London, if you Leeds, Manchester, Birmingham, Southampton, Liverpool, they all talk different.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Like you hear like crazy. A twang. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but in Lagos, is it not the same in Nigeria? Like no, like you get like, you know, like for example, like Hausa people might talk a little bit more like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they talk a bit, you know what I'm saying? Like, and Yorubas are a bit more like loud with it, or like a bit more, do you know what I'm saying? So
I get what you're saying.
Which tribe are you?
I'm Igbo.
Okay.
Yeah.
You both Yoruba?
Yeah. You know, I didn't really know, you know, if you were Yoruba or not for a while until you said it.
What's going on?
I'm just saying, I just.
No, a lot of people say that to me.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying?
A lot of people say to me that,
They think we're from Barbados.
What's a Yoruba name?
St. Kitts and Nevis.
My one is Oluwatoba.
Mad. What about you?
Oladapo Oluwamuyiwa.
Mad.
What's your Yoruba name?
A Yoruba though.
I'm Zimbabwean.
Oh, mad.
So what happened with the music? Because I was reading up about you earlier on, and it said that.
Wait. Before you get into the music, I actually realised music and fashion has come full circle in terms of, because I realised the style, and I'd say Nigerian artists specifically, you know what I mean, they dress a particular way, essentially. And I clocked music is coming all the way around. So there's this viral, it's this viral sound that they keep using on socials.
Lola.
Yeah. Have you seen the video?
Yeah.
Voilà la partie.
Have you seen the actual video?
Yeah,
what did they dress like? What was he dressed like?
I can't remember. Uncle.
Bro, literally, the style, yeah? If I could show you.
Lola.
Look, the style. You know what I mean? It's the clothes, the flares, you know what I mean? The style that's going on now is gone all the way around. That's how everyone dresses now. Think about it. That's how everyone dresses now.
True.
He's a bit more flamboyant with it, but that's one of the things I picked up on at the time, and I was like, it's actually gone all the way around.
That's a
He
rhythm,
was
dog.
drippy with it, yes?
Is that the one you was asking me about the other day?
Yeah. I was trying to use it for something.
Ivorian artist. But yeah, I was like, it proper dawned. When you think back to how Kofi Olomide and them were dressing back then when they were popular, it's kind of similar. You know what I mean? Obviously, the style is a little different. It's a bit more streamlined to the time, but it's a similar kind of style. So literally, it's gone. I wouldn't say full circle, but full circle essentially. So that's when I was like, I realized I'm not sure if it's an African thing or whatever, where we kind of like a certain style. Because think about it, 10, 20, 30 years later, we're still dressing.
I think it's all about comfort now, isn't it? Like, it's about drip, but it's about comfort. Like, it's like people don't want to do, like, gone are the days of like the tight jeans now. People just, I think maybe because of COVID, bro. I'm being honest, bro. Because of COVID, I hate wearing jeans now. I don't like wearing jeans anymore because I was so used to being at home in tracksuit bottoms, shorts, socks, sliders. So now when I put on jeans, I'm like, ah. So now the jeans, like, that are a bit more
You
loose.
do that like you're putting them on like a bad beat. Like you're jumping into them. Like, why'd you have to do it like that?
Oh, that what I done?
Yeah, it's like, whoa.
I got a headache, I'll be back.
Last time I wore jeans was our show, not the last show, but the show before. So the last time I ever wore jeans, Apollo.
Oh, serious?
Yep.
That's 2019.
Yeah, I've not worn jeans since. The last pair of jeans I had, black pair with the ripped jean, because I think you were wearing a similar pair. You might have been wearing something similar. The last time I wore jeans. 3 years ago.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So, music-wise, when did you? Because I read somewhere that your name was July before.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, do you know what? I couldn't see that. Because it said you changed your name, I think maybe 2019 or something.
Yeah, I changed my name in like 2016.
Okay, but I didn't know what it was before, and I was like, Crayon? But you pronounce it Crayon. Yeah,
exactly.
But why? Why the name Crayon? You colourful.
Exactly. Like I make colorful music. My music is colorful. You know, for all races. Wherever you're from, my music is universal. So I think the name came to me because, like, you know, at first July for me wasn't, because I was born in the month of July. It was just that razzmatazz. But for me, I wanted something that everybody could relate to without me explaining myself too much. So my sister, she used to make this bead bag. It was very colorful on the wall. And then one boring Saturday afternoon, I was just home, chilled. All my friends were in school. I was just there looking at the bag, like, and the first thing that came into my mind was Crayon. And I'm like, wait a minute, cray, colorful music, colorful, but it makes sense. So I ran outside, my friends were like, yo, it's Crayon. Now they're like, why? I'm like, colorful boy, colorful music. They're like, oh, mad. So since then, it just stuck with me.
And your parents believed in you as well in terms of the music, right?
Yeah, man, yeah, for real. Like, my mom used to give me money for studio sessions sometimes at a time when I started making music. They believed. My grandma, like, everybody.
You know, it's mad, though, because in Nigeria, like, the people love music, but most times parents trying to like, engineering,
I feel like,
doctor.
You know, over the years, things have changed. Like, because they see, like, young people doing it now. Okay. It's like, parents actually support their kids.
Yeah.
Parents literally bring their kids to the studio now.
Oh, serious?
Yeah, maybe in studio, like, you see artists coming with their parents. It's crazy, like.
Times
and
have
having
changed,
grandparents support you. My grandma said I was going to grow up and be a thief. So
she was right still.
she was right at some point in my life, but I don't know if, you know what I mean, she predicted it or, you know what I mean,
Would
she
you have
spoke
argued
into
with her or
it.
something?
No, she said I was like 8. she said this.
No, but you must have done something for her to say to you.
Bro, I was 8 years old and she looked at me and she was like, that was going to be a thief. I was like, who says that?
How mad that is.
She felt it in their spirit, bro.
You must have been stealing stuff, meat from the pot or something.
No! None of that, bro. She just looked at me. You know how your grandparents can perceive things and, you know, got the next vision. She just looked at me, bro, it was barefaced, not even, you know, behind my back with my parents or whatever. She was like, that's a thief right there.
That's a good question. So let's say I come to your house here and your family have cooked food. How much meat am I allowed to take out the pot?
You can't touch the pot.
No, wait.
Okay.
First of all, you can't even touch the pot.
But if I was to touch the pot, how much meat can I take?
You can't
touch the pot. Why
you can't even go to the
Okay,
kitchen.
say how many pieces can you ask
No,
for?
you have to leave. If you touch the
You
pot,
can't go
have
to the
leave,
kitchen,
bro.
Say how many pieces can you ask
Okay,
for?
how many pieces can I ask for?
I think they give like 2 pieces.
2 pieces is ample.
2.
Or is that too much?
Nah, man. Nigeria's changed, bruv.
What do you mean?
Back in the day, my aunt used to fill my plate with meat, bruv. When I go to my aunt's house, Eba, the spare meat, like, you get me, assorted.
Yeah, it's different. Like, you know, for Yoruba people, like, they like meat a lot. So when you're eating, like, amala and gbegiri, for example, the meat...
Plenty, yeah.
What's your favourite dish?
It's called white rice and banga. You don't...
Is that beans?
You know, it's not beans. It's like... How will I explain it to you now? It's like palm fronds, like palm kernel. You know if you know that?
No, I never heard of that.
I don't know how to explain it to you. That was crazy. Like
like
palm oil.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it's more like cooked with like different ingredients inside.
What do you put in it? What ingredients do you put inside it?
You put vegetables, you put stockfish, put goat meats.
Oh,
okay.
like
Catfish.
in the same thing.
Yeah.
It's a mashup of stew, boy.
What, catfish, vegetables.
Don't let Loons hear this episode, you know, 'cause he will be on to you lot, because Loons was like, I told you. Loons like, I've been saying this.
That's bad, dog.
Man calls it mystery thing. He calls
But
it
what's
mystery pot.
designer stew? You know the stew that's brown?
The stew is brown.
Yeah, my brother calls it designer.
Actually, the banger I'm talking about is actually brown.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing. Yeah, designer stew.
Same thing.
But I think you can just pick what type of meat you put in it.
Okay.
But yeah, we call it here. There's a particular shop that my mum goes to. Whenever she orders that designer stew, it comes brown. So I think it's the same thing.
It's the
So
same thing.
that's your favorite dish,
Yeah,
or
my
that's
favorite.
or what you grew up with.
That's my favorite thing.
Serious?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Taze?
If I want to
Nigerian
celebrate, it's got to be Eba stew and okra. Yeah. That's my thing.
I noticed that a lot of people like okra.
Yeah, listen, they see that.
Okra staple.
Yeah, man.
Okra is like if you ain't
Blend it well, man.
Yeah,
See,
man,
that's
okra,
not
and you just got when you blend it, it's just woo, little,
Yeah,
little,
woo.
not too much. Woo, the blender, so it cuts it, but it's still.
It's a Western thing,
Stringy,
because you
that's-
guys look at it as a delicacy. When I was back home, we used to eat so much, bro. I did not come to this country to keep eating that. I was like, no,
That
thanks.
food bangs, bro.
No.
But you know what I like as well? I like Amelani Wedu. as
Yeah, I
well.
love that. I love
my
that.
God.
Oh, yeah,
love
that
that.
bangs as well.
Like, I think, but you got to get older. When you're younger, when you look at it, the thing about Nigerian food, I'm not gonna lie, I'll be honest.
Presentation is mad.
Not the presentation, but like when you look at it, if I wasn't used to it, I might be a bit like, but I'm used to it, so I see it with Nigerian eyes. But if you're not from our culture and you see okra and it's kind of like stringy, you might be like,
What's the other one that's green? It's not stringy though.
Ewedu.
Okay, and then what's the one that's rich yellow?
Spaghetti.
spinach and
It's
egusi.
spaghetti,
No?
yeah.
And then you've got the stew. Can you see it? Red, yellow, green, and then Abela's just chilling, grey in the corner. Yeah, it does look a bit bad on the
It's
place.
brown,
too.
isn't it? I mean, it's like brown.
Dark brown.
Dark brown, like.
The grey, like, is it ash or grey? White?
Nah,
But you know what's a banger? Ground rice. Ground rice is like when you feel like you've had a promotion or like you've got good news. You cook ground rice.
which one's ground rice?
It's like
Pounded jam.
it's a smooth one. It's smooth.
Yeah, okay, pounded. We call it pounded jam.
No, it's separate, man.
So which one's pounded jam? There's pounded jam.
Pounded
there's
jam
Eba.
is pounded jam. Ground rice is ground rice.
I can't lie to you. I've been confused. All I know is that
So do you
mum
know-
make the food. Done.
See, in my head, I just thought that in Nigeria, most people ate roughly the same thing. But now I've spoken to you, you're like, nah. I'm not saying you didn't eat that, but you had different delicacies and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Do you eat bean? Snail?
I forget, yeah, I love snail.
Nah, I can't.
I can't get with that.
In
Yeah.
Bedford,
I can't eat that. I can't eat that.
in front
For
of
real?
Because the thing is, once I've seen it,
That's
like,
the
I've
thing.
seen a snail. And the thing is, in Africa,
and you know snails are like that
they're
big,
big,
bro. Like,
man.
where
They're-
the hell do you
have
find
seen-
snails
Have
that
you seen a
big?
snail here?
No.
Bro, they're like that
The
big.
snails here like this big. Like you see them, man. In Africa, the snails are like this. They're like cats.
Bro, we have there's a shop right opposite Soulbox in Deptford.
Have you seen them? The snails when
Brother,
they're crawling on the window.
The lady's got the little bucket where it's in there, and you know, you walk past and they're moving. And And
Oh, what,
those-
they shit them over?
that came over in someone's suitcase. You know that,
Do you know what I don't get though? Like,
bro.
how-
Tazer, you're gonna act like you don't know that someone went through Heathrow with a suitcase full of snails.
No, do you know what I don't get?
And
Yeah?
it got
When you go
through.
to Australia, they don't allow stuff like that into Australia.
Bro, they don't allow
Anything, like even rice grains, anything
Anything
in
that could
Australia.
affect
anything that
their
could affect their
agriculture.
agriculture, they don't allow in. But in the UK, I don't get it. They let in anything, bro. Like,
It's easier to smuggle things into the UK. And in Australia, bro, they are. When I say protein shake, when I was out there training or whatever, serious mass, they won't let in. They have their own kind of ecosystem. You get everything that's within there, essentially. And that's why even when it comes to things just like drugs, they end up using more crystal meth than anything else because they can't get, you know how most countries just smuggle shit in. In Australia, bro, it's a myth.
so just make
You
it
can't get
so-
anything, food, whatever. You get to the airport with one thing that's wrong. You be in the airport for 3 days, bro, and they're going through every bag you have, every sock, every hat, bro. They will shake you till nothing falls out, just to make sure you don't bring in the wrong things. So all of this stockfish in the bag, when people open the bag and there's literally like 100 snails in there, it doesn't happen in Australia.
You get fined for that.
Fined, bro. You end up on Christmas Island.
So what was I going to say? In terms of musical influences, who do you listen to in Nigeria or in general?
For me, like, I have varieties of people I listen to when I was growing up. I listen to 'cause my dad used to sell records. Like
Oh yeah, your dad used to have a record shop. Yeah.
CDs. So Michael Jackson, 50 Cent, Wizkid, Davido, Burna Boy, Tivo Savage.
So what kind of CD
Mohe
shop was
Crew. It was like it's like a room, like a small room,
it? Yeah.
and then you sell CDs.
So you used to listen to the tracks in your own
Yeah,
time.
like in my home, like
That's
my
what you
house.
used to kinda, like,
Yeah, that's how I fell in love with music. Yeah.
That's probably why I guess your parents are more understanding and more supportive, you know what I mean? Because you had music, you know what I mean, growing around and they kind of had an appreciation for music, essentially, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a question that I like to ask artists in regards to, like, there's a difference between like making music and then the music business. When did you realize that, okay, cool, making music is cool, but I need to understand the business side of things?
I think for me it was when I moved into maybe HQ or 2018, you know, and then I had to learn the whole business thing for like a year before I got unveiled. Like a pipeline thing, like you just there learning the whole music business, waking up every morning to see a superstar like Tivo Savage, Ricardo Banks, Corey DeBello, yeah. And then like learning the whole music business, learning artist management, learning, branding, imagery, learning about partnership deals and everything like that. So for me, it was like a learning process for a year before I got unveiled. So when I got unveiled, it was like, okay, we know what we're doing now.
Okay.
So have you got a show in London or you just got a show in Birmingham or?
No, I did a show in Birmingham and Manchester. I did a show with Rema in O2 Brits.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen Rema actually a few times.
Anything you've learned from Tivo Savage?
Yeah, like I learned about, touring and getting the bag. Like I'm always there when they're talking about like, tours and everything like that. I'm always, there just sitting down close to them, like in the staircase and just like, slow boy, just listening to every gist. Because I love, industry stories, like to learn the business. So I'm always there, like listening and just, learning things. And I feel like that's one of the things that I learned.
You say Marvin, is that Don Jazzy? And
Yes, Don Jazzy.
Don Jazzy.
Yeah, Don Jazzy, yeah.
Yes.
So how was it having someone like Don Jazzy around? Because Don Jazzy's been around from not
Legendary.
legend, like as in the Banj and was it Mo Hit Records?
Mm-hmm.
There, that was like the Afrobeat wave that like the P Squared, the Band, like all that
Foundation.
Yeah, that Afrobeat wave was sick because it's kind of like we had more of like the Afrobeat that our parents listened to, and then that was like
An evolution.
For the younger gen to say, you know what, we can do this.
Yeah, that was
Then
level
kinda
2. This
changed.
is level 3.
Yeah.
And that was, level 2 essentially. And remember, Taze, that's uni years for us. That's when it was spinning. So for us, those were momentous times. When you go into the dance, when Wizkid was coming out. Remember them times there?
I'm hot.
I think the transition, if I can speak very, like make it trivial, is that there was a period of time where I guess we can argue that it wasn't really cool to be African. Whereas now,
I don't get this,
No, do you know? But no, whether we want to admit it or not, I'm not saying we weren't.
Whether we were or you were, a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of people saw it, and then when we started making the music, and then obviously it became a thing where like, okay, cool, these tunes are popping.
I'd see people in the dance. I was like, I thought you're Jamaican. That waist is Congolese. You know what I mean? Like, you can say whatever. That is a Congolese. That man is from Sierra Leone.
Do you know what it is? Because in terms of the whole Nigeria, because when people say it, obviously you can say that I was a proud Nigerian, whatever, but people always knew I was Nigerian, as in school. But remember, I feel like maybe other African countries felt it a bit more because we were represented in football. So in terms of like, I saw Kanu, Okocha, them win the Olympic medal in '96. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I've seen like Super Eagles with the Yakini on the net. Do you know what I'm saying? So we had representation to say, yo, Nigeria, cool. But I think maybe other African countries didn't have an obvious representation. So maybe for them it was a bit like, no one really knows.
Yeah, but you got to remember though, there's like, you got someone, Femi, he's calling himself Fems, Binga, Bangs. Like everyone started shortening their names in that.
E-Man.
Yeah, exactly. E-Man is Emmanuel. He's changed it to E-Man. So like there was a time where it was just like, even in school, for example, you get a supply teacher, like a teacher that's not your teacher for the day. And when it comes to reading a Nigerian name, they're making it seem as if it's the hardest thing to do, bro.
No, but it is though.
Come on, man.
Reading what names?
It's not
Bro,
easy.
most of you that live here can't even pronounce your names properly. So do that.
But you can pronounce the names. We just choose not to.
Brother, I've heard.
We can pronounce our names, bro. We just choose not to.
When I moved here, when I see Zimbabweans over here, when I used to sit here and I'd see people pronouncing their names, I was like, You're not gonna do that, are you? You know, you're sitting there,
I
and
can't
people
speak for
pronouncing their
Zimbabwe.
names. I was like, bro. I'm talking Nigerians as well. You've heard people pronounce their names, and you're like, that is not how you pronounce your name. So there's no way you're gonna pronounce your name like that and be mad at me for pronouncing it like that.
I think what Tazer's saying is that Nigerians pronounce it that way on purpose. The supply teachers couldn't pronounce it at all. Do you get what I'm saying? Because, for example,
give them a Polish name or Russian name. The man are reading that out.
True,
Like,
man.
you see what I'm saying?
Locomotive, Lipienko, they nailing it, bro. Nailing it.
You know what I'm saying?
Nailing it.
And so, like, there was a time where it was just like, even in school, for example, you get a supply teacher, like a teacher that's not your teacher for the day, and when it comes to reading a Nigerian name, they're making it seem as if it's the hardest thing to do, bro.
No, but it is though.
Come on, man.
But
What, reading what names?
It's not
Bro,
easy.
most of you that live here can't even pronounce your names properly. So do that.
But you can pronounce the names. We just choose not to.
Brother, I've heard.
We can
the way-
pronounce our names, bro. We just
literally,
choose not to.
When I moved here, yeah, when I see Zimbabweans over here, yeah, when I used to sit here and I see people pronouncing their names, I was like, you're not gonna do that, are you? You know, you're sitting there,
I
and
can't
people
speak for
pronouncing their
Zimbabwe.
names. I was like, bro. I'm talking Nigerians as well. You've heard people pronounce their names, and you're like, that is not how you pronounce your name. So there's no way you're gonna pronounce your name like that and be mad at me for pronouncing it like that.
I think what Tazer's saying is that Nigerians pronounce it that way on purpose. The supply teachers couldn't pronounce it at all. Do you get what I'm saying? Because, for example,
Give them a Polish name or Russian name. The man are reading that out.
True,
Like,
man.
you see what I'm saying?
Locomotive, Lipienko, they nailing it, bro. Nailing it.
You know what I'm saying?
Nailing it.
Speaking of, because we were speaking about music, yeah, you know what I mean. Today I'm just throwing it back. You must have seen what?
Hey, yo.
I said he's throwing it back. You know?
Your niggas are childish. Get the hell out of here. Screw all of you. Fuck off.
Hey, them strip clubs, you need to slow down, bro. That's he's throwing it back.
I said settle down, settle down.
Hey, yo.
Fuck all of y'all niggas.
Wow.
You know what I mean? This is- I'm shooting all your niggas.
Look back at
You know what that
it. Look
reminds me
back
of?
at it.
Players Club. Remember the movie? Bernie Mac comes out and he's vexed. And he's looking at the man, but keep your motherfucking thingy. Keep your, what's it called? What's the bulletproof vest on all motherfucking day? Would I get you? I was talking about Premier Gaor. You know that tune?
Yeah,
that
big
nigga,
tune.
bro, do you know what it's about?
Heartbreak.
Basically, he's lost his thing. You know what I mean? He's got his little young thing that he's been dealing with, but now she's found another older guy that she's chilling with, and he's lost her. So that's what the whole song is about. So we're out there vibing. This nigga was crying, bro, because he lost his thing. So it was a heartbreak song. So this whole time we're
didn't know.
vibing, you know, we're in the dance vibing. He's crying, bro. He wants his woman back.
That's a rhythm, though.
It's a rhythm.
You know, you said your song,
I
your
actually,
music
I
is.
actually thought that was a Nigerian song.
You know, you say your music is colorful. Can you see yourself writing a heartbreak song?
Man, for me, it depends on the mood I am. You know, if I feel like,
But don't you have to experience heartbreak to write heartbreak?
gonna-
you know, you don't have to.
necessarily.
You don't have to be.
Not
I can paint a picture in my head and just like, okay, I actually made a song that's a sad story. Yeah, a couple of weeks ago.
Have you ever been heartbroken, though? Nah.
I have been once
What happened?
You gotta
before I got signed. I used to date this girl in my hood at the time. I wanted us to be like, you know, Two Face and Annie, like the way Two Face blew up in the girl, stuff like that. So apparently she was telling me that, oh, she's a virgin, and then she was seeing other boys.
Jeez.
And I'd be like, you know what, I'm gonna wait for you to like you're done with school, and then we'll do it. So I waited for like 3 years. We didn't do shit.
3 years.
And then
Like in that time, she was seeing other guys.
yeah, guys were telling me like, yo, this girl is just so happy. Like I'm like, what the fuck?
How did you find that?
So for me, because the guys that she was doing stuff with are my guys. And you know the hood, like I'm very popular in my hood. Like I know everybody. Like, everybody knows me. Like, so I'm hearing different G's and I'll be like, nah, don't worry. Love is blind. Da, 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 da. So when I moved into
They were doing
Maven,
you kind of dirty.
when I moved into Maven 2017, I started coming to Maven and then I spent like 3 days and I go back. I just wanted some funny attitude. And then she just like broke my heart. She was just like, nah, she's not interested anymore. She didn't know I was gonna be this big. So, and 2019 I got signed and she texted me and she like, oh, I'm so proud of you. I'm like, thank you. That's it.
Oh, you responded?
Yeah, like, thank you.
No, but you got to say
And I'm a cool guy. Like, you know, we can't do shit anymore. Like, I'm too expensive.
Is
so.
that somebody?
Hey, energy. You can't do shit no more. I'm too expensive for you.
That's usually the start of someone's villain story, you know.
It reminds me. There's
That's what I was going to say. Sorry, Keith. That's what I was going to say. That normally, like, a heartbreak normally changes. It changes someone either way. You either someone who's like, what's that thing? You got to be vulnerable to love. Or certain man say, it never again. My heart could not break.
Someone broke Drake's heart. Had to. The way he just flies and glides on songs, he's still paining. But we enjoy it. But he's still paining. Maybe one day he'll reveal who this person is, but he's paining.
Has anyone been heartbroken before?
Yeah, I have.
I have. Once ago, touch on it. I was gonna say, you talk about when you're doing something and someone messages you or whatever. My documentary, it was coming out at the time. Someone messaged me, somebody from before. She's like, "Oh, it's amazing. I've seen it." But at the time, all that had come out was the trailer. It's just like, it's amazing. I saw it. It was great.
He was like, "Yeah, sure."
Bro, I was like, "Thank you," because you're like, what else am I gonna say? If you can lie like that, bro, we're not doing this.
Yeah, that's like when we were on BBC, One Extra, and then we left BBC. Like,
people talk about, I love your show on BBC.
I rate I love yours on BBC.
You're
like, we ain't been there for like a year. Like, what are you talking about? But thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, man. Cool.
Now, I have a heartbreak that I wouldn't say turned me into who I am today, but I was young, you know what I mean? As an older girl, proper loved up, you know what I mean? Back in the day, F game or whatever, and you're doing crazy things. And yeah.
You spend money on that?
Hell yes. And it's crazy because her family had money. So I'm spending money on somebody who has money. Do you know how in love you have to be to spend money on somebody that has money? I almost got baptized for her.
Baptized?
What? I'll be honest. You know what I mean? That's where I was. I almost got baptized for her.
Man, you know the ones where they hold your nose and they...
Bro, I was this close.
You back.
I was this close to getting baptized for her. I almost bought her a car. You want to know what the killer is? She had a car. I didn't. Bro, I nearly bought a car for a woman that had a car, and I didn't have a car.
Yeah, no, I've never been like that.
What, I wanted to buy
I was
something?
like 19, 20 at the time.
I've never been like that.
I'm actually 20,
Because
maybe 20.
remember, in terms of what Keith's saying, like, rationale has gone out the window. She's got a car already, you haven't got a car. Buy yourself a car, bro, but you want to buy her another car.
When you say it like that, what you say? Like you know what I mean? At the time, it made sense. Did it make sense? No. But at the time, it made sense. And when I look back at it now, like, I did not make any sense. But I was in that zone. So that's why sometimes I'm very lenient when it comes to judging people that are in love and people do dumb shit in that zone. Because
You've been there.
Once upon a time, I was there. And I look back at it and I was like, that made no sense.
I don't know if I could be that much in love, That I do
Now,
I do something that's like, doesn't make sense to
So
me.
you're hardened now.
No, it's not even that. I just don't think I'd, like, what am I buying your car for anyway?
You should listen to some colourful music, man. You know what I'm saying? Anyone in the UK that you want to work with? I read that you worked with One Asen.
Yeah, for me, I want to work
Talented
with...
guy.
Hmm?
Asen. Very talented.
Yeah. For me, I want to work with everybody I can, link up with, For me, I just want to explore and just, spread my... my sound. I want to connect with anybody I can connect with before I leave. So for me, like, anybody that's available, man, so long as, like, my energy is right with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's more like energy thing. It's not even about the names or...
So what's a studio session like? Your typical studio session? Like, what's your rituals? What do you do?
Your day in the studio.
What do you need in the studio? Do you need a particular drink? Do you
get the beat? Do you get the beat first? Do you do the melody first, then get the beat? Like... Is there like
And, for me, sometimes I get the beat first. I write at home before coming to the studio. Sometimes I don't want to hear anything till I get to the studio. Sometimes I have the melody in my head and try and source the beat that will fit the melody. For me, it's different. So there's no particular way that I make music. Yeah. It's a lifestyle for me. I can just go into the studio and just do it, So my studio, I just like it to be calm, man.
Do you
Me
write?
and my producer, yeah, I write.
Okay. As in, because some people...
I write in my head.
I was going to say that some people write on paper, some people write in their head.
I write in my head.
I don't understand.
You don't write down.
So that's not freestyle. It's actually like writing in your head, actually.
That's what I'm saying, but I rate that because I don't know how you do it.
They just remember, like Jay-Z, where they just do it in their head and they don't put it on paper.
You remember it, and then that's it. Like, you don't write it down, though.
Yeah.
I find it
For
nuts.
me, if I write it down, it feels like I'm reciting it.
Okay.
It doesn't come from inside. That's for me. I'm speaking for myself now. For me, how I developed that that attitude for that skill was, back in the day in the hood, I used to listen to songs on radio. I didn't have a smartphone then. Okay. So when I'm listening to songs, I will assume I'm being featured on the song. So I will mute the person's vocals in my head and I'm freestyling when the song is playing on radio.
Oh, okay.
That's a super talent still.
Yeah,
that's
how I did it. Yeah, so I just kept
Black
doing
out a man's vocals to put
and
yours
just
on super talent.
singing on top of it.
So then that means when you get to the studio, for example, is it like you get the beat, and then you might just have a little 4-bar. Then that sounds cool. Then another 4-bar. Then you stitch it together, or is it like?
For me, I just go to the studio. Sometimes I just vibe straight away, and then I listen to it again and start writing to it.
So just melody
here and there, and just
work backwards.
Yes. Sometimes I make a song, and I don't realize it makes sense until I made a song, and then I listen. Actually makes sense.
Is there any song you've ever done where it was almost one take?
Yes. For me, for So Fine, one of my records I dropped in 2019. So Fine was straight from the beginning towards almost the end of the song. Yeah,
that's
straight.
And that's difficult.
One
Straight.
take.
Yeah.
I mean, you had it. I'm like, I know exactly how this song has to sound.
I was just going.
I'm ready.
I was just going.
It's studio, and when you think of, funny enough, these are two artists that have actually just released a song together again. You sent it to me. So I did for the first time, Naira and Backroad.
Okay.
So that's actually not the first song they've done together. Yeah. So the first song they did together was, we never actually released it. It was a couple of years ago. So BR, Backroad G, had a song that he would release back in the day, and we were working. So actually the song hadn't even come out, but when you're working on the remix of a song at the time. So it was BR and it was Naira in the studio essentially. And that's where sometimes, when you think of, it was one of the most chaotic studio sessions I've ever been in. When you have an artist and everyone has all of their people in the studio and you're trying to get a song done in a specific, you think we have studio, you're like, we have to be here, be out of here at a specific, and this is before Naira is Naira that we know now, you know what I mean? So he was still, Naira Marley from Peckham essentially. So he had a good run and, he was UK Naira. So at the time, the way they're working in the studio is different. So, when everyone comes in, they'll record a little bit, everyone will go out and smoke a little bit of weed, come back, record a little bit. And, when you're management, essentially, you're sitting in there and you're thinking, it's a very expensive session. We were supposed to be out of here 3 hours ago. You know what I mean? And you're sitting in there and every time, you're like, we've got 4 lines. You know what I mean? Can we get another 4 in? You're like, song's nearly done. So you think of studio sessions, yeah? Bro, it could be insane. Have you ever had a situation in the studio where, you're like, this is taking a lot longer than it should? Or you're working with someone and you're like, yeah, this isn't the way I like to work. You don't have to say who, but can you think of a time where you're like, this is not how I like to work?
In Nigeria, it's different. I feel like, for me, since I moved into Maven like 2018, I've always had access to studio. So I work anytime. Even if I'm writing like 4 bars for 9 hours, I would do it so long as it comes out right. So for me, it's never really about, we have 3 hours to record, we have 2 hours to record. So that's what I'm saying. It's different in Nigeria.
In terms of UK music, there's like drill, there's grime, there's obviously UK rap, whatever. Is there any particular genre that stuck out to you? You're like, you know what, I like that from the UK. I like that sound.
Yeah, I love drill.
Serious?
Yeah, I love drill.
Just UK drill or drill across the board?
UK drill.
Do you think you could do that? Drill?
I could try, but I've never tried it before.
No, I'm not saying maybe you rap drill, but as in you could be like
Sing
maybe
Hook.
Sing a hook. Or...
They call me. There's a reason why they call me Captain Hook.
Hey, energy.
What's the Captain Hook, you know? You know Captain Hook's from, innit?
No?
You be serious?
No, go on.
Peter Pan.
You be serious?
No, I know it's from Peter Pan, but you made it seem as if it was something else.
No, I might be. I don't know.
For me, it's because I kill every hook I'm on.
It's funny you don't talk about, Captain Hook and, just older stuff, yeah? Super Mario. I was listening to something today. It made me realize that he was sinister.
What?
Bro, he was in there just kicking down doors and chasing women around.
He wanted his babes back, man.
Bro, think about it, yeah? Bowser, yeah? Remember they used to call him King Koopa?
You can't make sense out of this, bro. The princess is
so you
sleeping
and
with the
Bowser,
dinosaur,
wait,
bro.
Bowser, you got his thing or
dumb.
whatever. Super Mario kicking in the door, killed all of this dude's kids just to grab man's chick.
To grab his chick.
Bro, who's chick? That was Bowser's chick.
No,
Brother, it wasn't.
Don't let the media fool you. What? That was Bowser's chick.
Bowser's the dinosaur, right?
Yes.
So what are we talking about here?
That was his thing.
That's bestiality.
That was okay back then. All I'm saying is that dude there, bro, home invasion rapist.
This guy.
What's going on here?
You, bro, he was breaking into houses. Like I said, because of Super Mario and his cute, and Luigi didn't even want to be part of that. Have you noticed when you played the game with Luigi, energy was different? Because he didn't want to be there.
Luigi was serious, man.
Luigi wanted
he
no
secretly
part of
liked
it.
it, Princess as well. That's why.
Ooh.
But listen, I've been watching Wu-Tang, the saga. It's about the history of Wu-Tang and how they came about and stuff like that. So the question I was going to ask is, there's a lot of hiccups in the beginning in it. So obviously, I think one of the main guys gets signed as a producer.
RZA.
I think it's RZA that gets, RZA. But then
RZA was the brains.
yeah, making the beat and stuff like that. But there's bare times where he's tried to convince the label to bring in the man them. So like Ghostface, Method Man, and
Bear them. You got.
yeah, there's bare of them. There's bare than You God, yeah. But there's times where he's received
Raekwon.
bad news. So how have you dealt with bad news in regards to like music? Maybe like a single can't come out on a particular day, or you can't shoot the music video, or the budget isn't what you thought it was going to be.
Or features not cleared.
Yeah, samples not cleared and stuff like that. How do you deal with bad news?
Oh, for me, I just go offline, man. I just go offline. I just like take my time out to just, just rethink and just re-strategize. There was a time where we went to shoot Ijo Laba Laba, the video, and in Nigeria it was raining season, so it was raining from Monday to the day when they shoot the video. It rained back to 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 that day, and after that day still rained. I wanted to cry, bro. I'm like, what the fuck?
Bro. Like, as in, like, you see cars driving through, and you're like,
I'm like, what the fuck is this? And the song has to come out, and then the video has to come the next week after. So we have to move the date, and I have to move my show's dates as well. So I lost money and a lot of things like that. So, but it happens, man, in the business. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just God, ordaining the time. And, God is a perfect time keeper. So I just let the universe
When
do
you were
its
watching
thing.
the Wu-Tang thing, you must have seen the thing where man are talking about. Remember this big group of them, and they're like, "Oh, we have they'll be like, oh, we have an interview with Howard Stern." But I said, "We?" He said, "I have an interview." Remember, there's so many of them. So let's say there's, there's us, we're a group or whatever. There's four of us. And like, oh, we have a thingy. We have an interview with Howard Stern, Tazer, and their man are preparing. Me and Marvin was like, they said they want me and Marvin on the show. So that's one of the issues that they used to have a lot.
they used to argue all the time.
Bro, all the time. Where man are on the
It's
train and they're fighting.
Yeah, on the train.
That's the one.
And
They're all
Method
fighting
Man's arguing with like,
over Howard Stern.
yeah.
But remember, I'm watching it from the beginning, like them in the ends. They ain't even got their names yet. They're still going by their old names.
What is it on Netflix?
Disney.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm on I just started season 2.
There was, brother, the thing about Wu-Tang, yeah, there were brothers in my school that used to like be die-hard Wu-Tang fans, like tattoos, bro. Like, I swear to God, bro. A brother had a tattoo, like, and I'm not going to say his name because people wouldn't,
No, it-
but he had a Wu-Tang tattoo. And when I look back, I'm like, brother, you were like 14, bro. But
Has
in
he
my
ever been-
head,
has he
the
ever been
upper
to jail?
year, nah, but they were like bad boys in the area, like proper. So when I look at them, I'll be like, when you're in school, for example, and like you look at the older year, it's like they're like men. But when you leave school, you're like, oh, we were young, we were like 14. But in your head, when you're in year 7 or year 8, you're looking up at the year 10s, year 11s. They're big men. I remember man used to have tattoos. PE, you see man walking with sleeveless top, bare tattoos, and Wu-Tang. And them I used to listen to Wu-Tang. That's how I knew about Wu-Tang, because of them lot. It was weird.
I knew Wu-Tang was a thing, but I wasn't really invested
That's what
in
I'm
it.
saying.
Yeah.
You need to be introduced to Wu-Tang. I don't think there's someone that you like listen to out the blue. Do you know what I'm saying? So, but I was going to talk about your social media. Like you said that when you're stressed, you just come off socials. Like, how has that been for you, socials? Because I see like you've got like maybe like 700,000, 800K. Like, how is it navigating with DMs, with posts, or because remember now you get recognized all over the place now. You can't move how you used to move. Like, how is life now?
Life is great. Life is good. I've always wanted this, So for me, it's like, yeah, I'm getting what I'm praying for. So I can't complain, man. The only thing I'm just like, that's worrisome for me because, to shift from being a regular kid in the hood, wearing shorts and just walking up and down and just doing stuff. So now you can't do that. That's the only thing that's just like, okay, I can't do that anymore. But here I can do that because, okay, it's London boy in Lagos. You can't. If you try it, almost.
You gotta be careful. Wiz Khalifa posted something on Insta, I think yesterday, and he was talking about how he's not interested in wearing jewelry and watches anymore because of how people perceive you. And he doesn't want to be a target. He's just like the energy surrounding all of that stuff. I'm just not interested in it.
It's not how they perceive you, it's how they perceive your watch. They
No,
don't
but
see you, bro.
but it's
Man see and eat.
it's like but you know, it's like man can know you have money, but the moment you put a particular watch on or particular chain on, it's like, okay, you have money, but now I can take it.
Yeah,
And I think he doesn't want to bring that
I
energy
get what
towards him.
Taser's saying, like, for example, like, if someone sees you now, they can't take your money at your bank account. Whereas if you've got a watch or chain, they can grab it. So I get what you mean in terms of, like, that's why even when PNB Rock got killed and Pop Smoke and whatever, Ice-T was saying that LA is different. Like, if you notice, a lot of the artists in LA, they don't wear jewelry. So Ice-T, well, the game wears a chain, to be fair, but the game's affiliated, whatever. But generally speaking, most artists you see in LA don't wear jewelry. And I looked back and I was like, okay, Ice Cube, Ice-T, like, there's a lot of men who didn't wear jewelry because LA is one of those places where, like, home invasion, you stick out. Like, there's a lot of people that they bang differently over there. Like the how they view life is very cheap. As in, like, to kill someone is nothing over there, and it's so dangerous, bro. But I kind of get it though.
I feel like it's like that here, not so much in life being cheap, you know what I mean? But I feel like over the last 2-3 years, London has become a place where people are willing to do a bit more to get your jewelry. People are willing to
follow you home.
Yeah, and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Harm you. Because, you know, when you think of people that have been killed in the last 2-3 years over jewelry. I read an article the other day. I think I might have sent it to you, Taze, or you might have sent it to me, where it was a guy and he's gone back with these 2 chicks or whatever. And they've drugged him and he ended up getting killed. You know what I mean? Because they think they saw 2 Rolexes that he posted on his Instagram and stuff. And you think to yourself, you know, now you're just terrified to even meet up with people because you're like, I don't know what your intentions are. You're like, is it to hang out or are you meeting up with me because you think I have, you know what I mean, nice things? I told you, even when I had kettles, bro, like it was a short period of time because I felt so uncomfortable where I was like, I just can't do this, bro. Where you're like, now, and that was, it's not an expensive watch by any margin. You want 10, 15K. So now imagine walking around with 200K on your wrist, 300K. You know, and people were wearing, you know, £500,000 watches on their wrist. That's like I couldn't sleep, bro.
That's like Yanamaz. You see the story about Yanamaz?
Yeah.
And
he got robbed?
Yeah, they came to his yard.
Serious?
He said basically he was in Harrods and he bought a watch. I think it was like 190 bags, 200 bags in it.
They're one of the rich RMs.
And he paid for it and his brethren filmed it real time in Harrods, like, yo, watch, whatever. And he said that he was being flashy. He's like, yeah, whatever. But he said that he was at home and then these brothers just broke in and like they just battered him and was like, where's the watch? But he said luckily for him, the RM there was something wrong with it. So it was in Harrods getting fixed. But he had about 3 or 4 other watches in the safe. So they made him open the safe and take the watches. Jeez. And they tied him up and whatever, and they beat him up. And he said since then, like, he moves digital, he's got like loads of security in his yard now and whatever. But he said luckily his missus and his kids weren't in.
Jesus.
That would have been a whole
Remember that happened to a friend of ours. If you go back,
going
almost 10 years ago, same thing with him. You know what I mean? Gone in his house, tied him up, you know what I mean? Burnt him with a knife and all sorts for money. And you know, you're like, it's scary, bro. You can't even have nice things.
The maddest thing is, I was supposed to go back with him that day as well. Like, there was a few of us that, like, he was like, I'll come and play FIFA. I was like, you know what, I'm tired, man. Like, I can't be bothered, bro. And there was like about 3 or 4 of us that were going to go back, I remember.
I would have burnt your nipples
so
off
imagine,
when you
bro.
got back.
No, but the thing is, it would have been even.
It might actually have been a different story.
Yeah, it would have been even Stevens, to be fair.
Guys buried him.
Yeah, but there would have been about 4 of us.
And there were like 7 or 8 of them in there.
Yeah.
I got the post just so people know what I'm talking about. So Wiz Khalifa posted, you grow out of that shit and you place value in other things at certain points. It's cool to have that mind frame as well, or it's cool to have a little joint too. You don't have to be the biggest, craziest situation going on, he said. And with all these murders and shit going on, it's inviting fucking energy that you don't really need. And people look at you like they get excited every time they see that type of shit.
Yeah.
So
what do you value?
Rappers, sorry to cut you off. Rappers, well, you know what I don't like about rappers? They live life, they enjoy the jewels and whatever, and then they want to tell us, you know what I mean? That doesn't mean anything. You You
but it's
enjoy
timing,
now.
though.
You
Nah,
enjoyed
but
this.
No, but it's
you
timing, though.
enjoyed
Nah,
this.
I get what
You
you're
got the
saying.
chicks off the back of this.
Yeah, it's
It's
true.
like, you know what I mean, fraudsters. When they
remember
tell
I said
kids,
it.
don't do this.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You were living life, driving BMWs,
Yeah.
wearing Rolex, but I shouldn't do it.
Remember,
Please mind your
remember
business.
I said that at the time when I said
Yeah,
the
no, I know.
the
You said
fraudsters
that.
come out and they will tell the kids, nah.
Give my motivational speeches.
Don't do fraud.
All right,
Do a
so
9
wait,
to 5.
when you were growing up, did you want to be like a Yahoo boy?
I had friends that was doing it at the time. You know, it was actually one of my friends, but I don't want to mention his name.
Mm-hmm.
We started making music together, and then it's like, bro, let's go do this shit. I'm like, it's not my calling. I can't do that. I want to make music. It's like, you don't want to do it, right? Just watch me. And then he started doing it and started making stupid money. Like, it was so popular in my hood. It never gave me nothing. Never said, oh, take this 50K or 100K, get yourself a sneaker or go to the studio, da. It never gave me nothing. I never envied him for one day. So
What's a Yahoo boy for people who don't know?
first start.
Okay.
So
Obviously, when you say 50 and 100K, you mean Naira, right?
yeah,
Well, people start listening to say, bro, what, 50K for Chase?
So it's like it didn't give me anything. It was making so much money, like was so popular. I got tattoos, like it was so arrogant, like everybody just knew him in the hood. Like this arrogant guy was doing drugs and shit like that. So for me, I just focused on my music, and then 3 years after, like I got signed to Maven, and he's looking at me now. He's like, I wish I did the same thing too.
You're like,
but-
boy.
Money,
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
It's what I'm saying about time. It's timing.
money changes a lot of people. Like people don't realize, but like when you get money, it changes people. Sorry, it doesn't change you. So it brings out the true you. So if I'm telling you, like if for example, like me, for example, if I go to a restaurant and there's a waiter, I'll never be rude to the waiter because I don't need to be. It's not me. Whereas some people are rude to the waiter because that is
You
them.
don't have to indirect James Corden. Just say James Corden.
But I've been hearing that he's bad, you know.
He's an arsehole. James Corden, you know, he
I've been
gets
hearing
banned
he's
from,
bad, bro.
from restaurants. They were like, he's terrible in Hollywood. They were like,
Yeah, but I don't know how true it is though.
No.
That's the only thing.
He's not. A lot of people have come out to say, to the point where one restaurant owner, he's come out and he's like, we've dealt with bad customers, but this dude is so bad, we've had to ban him from the restaurant. Like, they were that. Do you know how bad you have to be to get banned from a restaurant? When I say people that work in hospitality, bro, you deal with terrible client customers every day. So to be so bad, you have to get banned. You have to be extremely bad.
Because apparently the brother told a story about on the plane. I don't know how true it is though. And he was like, James Corden was on the plane first class, and there was a woman with a baby next to him, whatever. And literally for the whole flight, the baby's crying, whatever. The woman is dealing with it, and James Corden's just blanking it out, whatever. It transpired at the end that was his youth and his missus.
Well, I thought this story was going somewhere else.
Nah, the brother was like,
I was about to say, you know what I mean? How dare they? Oh, that was his youth.
that was his youth and his missus. They said that like he blanked her for the whole flight. Like literally the whole flight. He was just like, but I don't,
Yeah,
again,
but
but
you know
remember,
what I mean?
I think I read that on
But
Twitter.
how
listen,
true
but
that is.
what did the woman and the baby do though?
What?
I'm just saying, bro, Marvin, you always say there's two sides to every story.
I don't know if it's even true, but I just saw it and I was thinking, interesting.
Yeah, but no, I've heard like there's a lot of stuff about him where people are like, he is an absolute arsehole. He did a Q&A thing to the point where they had to cut it off because everyone kept asking him about why he's such a cunt.
Serious?
Yeah? Bro, to the point
James
where...
Corden, the fat brother.
Yes.
The guy who
Bro,
does the carpool karaoke.
Brother, he is a nightmare, apparently. Like, people just in Hollywood, think about it, his career's gone down the toilet.
Is it?
Yes. What does he do? Doesn't do that show no more.
Oh, serious? Okay.
Yeah, Hollywood. Literally, he has such bad PR from how he is. You know, people that get big and they just move brand new.
He needs to listen to some colourful music. That's it. People just need to... I was watching the HC pod and they were talking about slow jams and how much of an impact it just has on people's lives. It just forces you to just slow down. And I was thinking about it. I was like, yeah, whenever you listen, but when you listen to slow jams, everything just slows down, man. I don't know what slow jams you're listening to, brother, but talk about the old school
You're
ones.
whacking mum, you don't slow down.
What? What did you say?
You're whacking mum, you don't slow down.
Slow down and say that again?
What?
Slow down and
What
say
did
it
you
again.
say?
If If you're whacking mum, you don't slow down.
Oh, what did you think he said?
I thought he said if he was whacking my mum.
Bro, that's what I thought he said.
How
So
did
that's
he
what
get
we,
here, bro?
Oh, nah, I wouldn't say that.
But that's what it sounded like you were saying.
Back me, bro.
I like Auntie still. I wouldn't say that.
Bro, because I was like, what banter is this?
bro?
I was like, this is new.
I'm saying when you make love to slow jams, it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Or if you're listening to it in the car, you don't slow down though.
You make love to slow jams?
Yeah, you don't make love to slow jams.
Wow, there's no music, bro. Nigga, I won't hear that.
Low.
You lot have issues, man.
Is there a particular? Do you listen to anything when you're making love? Is there like?
I call it knacking over there. I did my Google.
What's a knacking?
God.
He used to be a comic. Remember that Naxon? Do anyone remember that comic?
Yeah, I remember.
There used to be a comic in Nigeria called Naxon, innit? And he was like a brother, like, and he was always like,
Knacking.
he was always knacking, and like anytime he saw a baby, he'd get the biggest bone and like. It was like, but I used to buy the paper just to see it, Naxon.
So
Any
for
of my
me,
Nigerians, you know about Naxon
that's
still.
how I keep up with Nigerian, news and banter. I follow Cracks TV on Insta. That's how I keep up with all my. You know what? Nigerian content creators are some of the most creative content creators on the planet.
Father.
Wetin be this? Jesus. Ha ha, blood of Jesus.
God have mercy upon us.
Jesus!
Father, you buy food. I for what thing? Look at the thing I'm for man. What fun now? Me the share update for me now. Give me update now. I'm not fit buy food for like you now.
You want update?
Yes, now. Which king?
Yeah!
Wetin be this?
Now the update be this.
Jesus.
Don't worry, God's time is the best.
Oh my God.
God, you are there.
When you look at some of the skits they do on
It's
Insta,
cold.
bro,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
is some of when
They
I say
abuse the sound effects, though.
no, 100%. But when I talk about literally, bro, but globally, if we were to talk about top three, a country that's top three in terms,
Yeah.
And they got the fast running legs.
yeah,
man.
they do that all the
They
time.
love it, bro.
But Nigeria is definitely, when it comes to content creation, you know what I mean?
No, they're
I'd say
cold.
maybe, I won't even say top three, top two. When you look at the content they create in
they're
terms
sick
of the
content,
humor,
so.
definitely top
Do
three.
you know, Nigerians as people, we're very humorous and funny people. Like, more times, like, you see something, it's always funny. Like, Sammy Loco, Two Rats.
There's a guy called is it
I can't Popo.
Jigsy?
Popo, Ake
Ake
Popo.
Popo.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
too
yeah.
funny. There's a guy
Too
called
funny.
I think it's Jigsy. I can't remember his name. He stopped. He used to do the news, and then he has skits where he used to be a police officer.
The dark skin one.
Yeah,
What?
yeah, yeah,
He
big
paint-
guy.
Paint his face black.
No, he didn't paint his face black. He
It
just
was like dark. Not him.
nah. He's a big fat guy, and he used to do skits with Basically, he used to do skits where he would stop people on the road, and he'll be the police officer that's stopping you, trying to hustle you for money. But he used to be funny. Then he changed his content into a news reporter, and then he used to do like he'll be like the boss at a job, and then you'll be the client that's coming in, and the way he like kind of deals with you. But I can't remember. I ain't seen him post content in a minute though. This is like a couple years ago.
Would you ever get into acting?
I wouldn't. I mean, I don't mind. You know, I don't mind, to be honest.
Do you think you can do it though? Do you think you can?
I think I
pivot?
can. I think I can. If I put my mind to it, anytime I put my mind to it, I can do it.
'Cause I know quite a lot of Nigerian people that are actors or of just they're either DJs or they're actors, like, but they weren't before. But Nigeria is one of those kind of places where, like, 1 minute you'll see someone, next minute, yeah, top DJ, bare bookings in December. You're like, how? You know what I'm saying, like, I think it's.
Is it once you have a name, you could pretty much branch into?
Yeah. In Nigeria, once you have a name, like, people are willing to look into you. Like, even Nigeria, for example, the time when I went and I got, and then he got arrested in the club, yeah, and then it hit the blogs out there, whatever. If you know how many followers I got from Nigeria, because once they knew I was Nigerian, they started getting, that's how Nigerians are. If they know you're Nigerian, they'll just follow you.
It's like same thing happened with Daps.
That was it.
Yeah, for example, when they realized that Daps Nigerian, he's filming with like Migos, Iggy Azalea, and all that stuff. He said he's following in Nigeria. It was crazy.
Yeah,
He said it got to the point where he used to question the time he had to upload his content because he's like, I've got like a UK following and then I've got a US following, I've got a Nigerian following. You know what I mean? So he used to kind of figure out what time to kind of upload his content. But yeah.
Because Nigerians actually support their own, like properly. Like if they like you, they support you, bro. Like as in like the thing about Nigerians, you can go anywhere. You can be in Poland, you can be in Yugoslavia, you can be wherever, and then someone will say to you, "You're Nigerian." Yeah, and that's it. That's it. I like you now. What do you want? We're cool. Like that's how Nigerians are. Do you know what I'm saying? Which is kind of sick still.
So before we let you go, yeah, I read somewhere, and the reason why I'm reading it out is because I don't want you to use that as your answer now. So I read somewhere that you said, I want my music to be the soundtrack for beautiful moments in everybody's lives.
Knackered.
Low.
So before we let you go, one question. If you want your fans to take one thing away from this interview, what would it be?
What would it be? You know, just watch the interview and be happy. And it's fun, you know, and just watching and just, it's a lot of, educating things from here, just in case you're new to Africa or, whatever. So yeah, that's what I want.
Where can people find you? Like your music, your videos, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, Crayon on this, CRAYONTHIS. On TikTok is different, Crayway too. And on Snapchat, same thing, CRAYONTHIS, Crayon this. And on YouTube is Crayon.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, brother, and hopefully you come back.
Appreciate.
With something else to talk about.
God bless you guys for having me.
Tazer,
You're doing the headline show.
On God.
Hopefully your career builds, and next time you come, you're a bigger artist, bigger person.
In Jesus' name.
Doing the O2.
Doing the O2, selling the
In
O2.
Jesus' name.
Amen.
I'm saying, well, good luck, Charles. Remember, what's his name? Before Closer came out, he was here.
Oh yeah,
Oxlade.
Yes, all I'm saying is,
yeah,
might be a good luck, Charles. He came on here, you know what I mean?
That's my brother, man.
After.
That's my
I
brother,
ain't saying
man.
we did
we
that.
had him on, yeah, and then he dropped that song after, and it was like, timing wise, yeah.
That's
But
what
it is what it
everyone's
is, man.
Skanking it.
Alright, let's take a picture, please.